So you've seen the title and you've seen the thumbnail, and yes, in this video I'm going to be explaining to you how to trade in this game. Now there is a lot of elements to the trade and a lot of people get confused about it, so I'm going to try and break down everything that you see on the website to make it as easy as possible for you. So once you get to endgame, or maybe before, you might be looking at, hey, I'm undergeared and I need to trade. I see everyone trading. How do I do it? You do not need to chat in the game. You can literally simply come down here to the trade website, or even easier, use a computer and do it that way, because on a computer you can just type in on the keyboard. The Xbox controller is not the easiest thing to use for the website, or plug a keyboard into your Xbox. So once you're here on the trade website, we can see here we've got to sign in to continue. So I can literally just sign in and press the Xbox. Once signed in, you'll come to a page that looks like this. Now from this page, there's obviously many of options that you have. Now it all depends on exactly what you're looking for. But the main thing you want to know is about the currencies. So the main two currencies that are traded on this site is Exalted Orbs and Divine Orbs. How do we obviously categorize ourselves between them two? We'll go over here to where it says show filters, and let me zoom this in for you to make it a little bit easier. And we've got the likes of Exalted Orbs and Divine Orbs. So this is us literally extending the tab that was there before. We would go up to the top, and right above my head here we can see show filters. We click on that, and as soon as we do that, it brings up this page with loads of stuff on it, and it's like, oh my god, what the hell do I do with this page? Well, like I said, very easy. The main two currencies that you're going to want to trade with, I mean, you could trade with all the other stuff, or you could have it on relative. I would just literally use Exalted and Divine. Obviously Divines currently are going for 80, Exalted for 1, so it depends how rich you are on how you're going to use this. But if you're new to this, you don't really know how to use it, you're probably going to have Exalted. But if you do have some Divines that you've gathered through the story or wherever you're at in the game, well, then you can buy some better items. So if we to click on to Exalted, and you're now to look for a specific item, weapon, or whatever it may be, all you would have to do is go here on the NE and you choose what you're looking for. So you get the likes of any weapon, which would just only select weapons. And if you were to click on any weapon and search with Exalted Orb, you will get loads and loads of weapons, but you'll also get all the different tiers. You get magic, you'll get rare, and then you'll also have unique. Now here, when you're looking at this, there's multiple ways of filtering out your search. So for one, I'm on Exalted. Now I want the highest DPS weapon that I can get in the game. Well, you can simply click here at the top that you see right there, press that, and now it will give you the highest DPS in Exalted Orbs. That's 55 Exalted Orbs, and it's for this weapons. Now that's not guaranteed it's going to give you the highest, because obviously we're seeing how many matches there are. It can't really show it, so we want to really try and filter ourselves down. How do we filter ourselves down? Right, okay, so I want a war staff, a quarter staff. I don't know why they've called it a war staff. Yeah, it is a quarter staff. So if we hit search here, and now looking at it, we can see with the DPS 615, and it's going to cost me 166 exalt, sorry. But we do also have to put into consideration whether it's got runes or not, because when it's got runes on, it gives it an additional 40% increased physical damage. Now, if we looked for one that didn't have runes on, but it's still got a very, very high base damage, we know by buying this one for 140 exalts, we can actually add an additional 40% damage onto the physical damage, which would actually probably make this the strongest weapon in the category, adding on 40% onto what we've seen before. Because the reason this is showing so high is because it's got the 89% plus the 40, which brings this over to 99. What we're looking at, 129% physical damage increase, or 139. Now, the one that didn't have it has already got 161, plus the additional 40, plus the attack speed, plus the quality as well. This has been qualityed, which increased it by an additional 20%. This weapon is actually really good for 140 exalts. But let's say now, but Death Wish, I don't have 140 exalts. How do you expect me to buy this, but I can't afford it? Well, let's go to items that you can afford. So you'd go back up to the top to the show filters that you see above my head. And then here, next to where we've selected Exalted or Divines, we put the max that we have. So let's say I have 50 exalts, even 5. We could then do the same and click DPS, and then we will see the highest DPS quarterstaff here. Now this works with every weapon. I'm just doing quarterstaff to give you an example. This works. So yeah, so we've done that. But yet again, we still have to keep in mind, for one, these have runes on. So if we were to scroll down and look for one that potentially doesn't have a rune on, which maybe there isn't any in this search filter. Well, here we go. 35 exalts. We've got this one that's got fire damage, lightning damage, physical damage as mana, mana per enemy killed, and it's only 35 exalts. But yet again, it's only quality 5%, so we can increase that by an additional 15, plus add on 2 runes, which would give it an additional 40, so it can go up 55% increase to what it is, which would actually technically make this, yet again, one of the strongest. It would make it the strongest 50 exalted orbs weapon on this list. So I would always be wary of what you're seeing at the top. What you're seeing at the top is just because of these runes. Now these runes are super duper cheap to obtain. All you'd have to do is you go back to the game, and when you're on the game, to get any specific currency like that, you'd go over to the likes of Alva or whoever's got the currency exchange in your hideout or the town. Now when you're here, you would go over to the top, which is I want. Once you're in I want, you would literally search for what you're looking for. Now if you wanted to add runes to it, all you'd go is to, where are we? I've scrolled past it. You'd want to go to the Artificer's Orb there. And then you would say what currency you have. So it could be any of these currencies that you're seeing on the screen right now. But the easiest currency is obviously going Exalted Orb. Now we know there we can get 4.80 to 1. Now if we put 5 in, we still have a chance because they are going up and we have got a chance of getting it. But if we want to be a bit more exact, then we would go ahead and we'd do something like, well, there you go. You've got 6 for 1 at the moment. So we could press 6 because that has just gone up. And if we placed order, well, we should get 6 of them for 1. No, it's sold. So we missed out on that opportunity. But you could leave it there pending, and it, like there, we left it pending and the orders got completed because someone else was okay to do that, as they wanted to sell it quick. And there we go. We've got 6 Artificer's Orbs. And then we could even do the likes of what typically is good for a weapon with physical damage is we'd go down to the bottom and we'd put in iron runes, and we can see we can get 3.5 to 1. Now 3.5, but I can't put 3.5 in Deathwish. What do I do? Simple. You put 7 and you put 2. And then with that, you've got your 3.5. So you get 7 for 2 Exalted Orbs. Or like we're seeing there, 4 for 1. So we could simply just put in 8 and put 2. And now we're getting the 4 to 1 ratio. So we get even more there, which is pretty good. I could place the order yet again. As we can see, it's not available. So it's just going to sit there until it does become available again. It all depends on people actively searching, buying, not buying, and what the market's doing in that specific moment. But in this current moment, there's only for that. But 1 went on, but because I already had the order pending, it's already gone through. And now I've bought Iron Runes and Artificer Orbs. So that's what you're looking for, armors. And you're looking for, obviously, weapons. Now, the only other weapon one that I'd really recommend if we went into the currency exchange when we're looking at runes is I would go, not runes, sorry, I'd go down to Soul Cores. And on Soul Cores, I would look for the one that gives you increased attack speed, which is, where are we? I was looking at the bottom row, so I wasn't looking. You've got this one, which gives you 30% increased elemental damage with attacks. So you could get 60 up to 90% increased if you get 3 runes if the corrupted weapon was available to you. But you've also got the likes of the critical damage bonus, but it only gives you 24%, but you can get up to 36%. Still not great, but I'd rather have the attack speed, because attack speed boosts up the physical DPS of the weapon. So you can get 10% attack speed or 15% attack speed, or you can have an additional 40% physical damage. So let's just say you have an incredible weapon, but the only thing that's going to bump up its damage massively is not 40%, because it's already got 200+% physical damage increased on it, but you're probably going to need attack speed. So that could be the golden one, and yet again you can see 5 exalted for one of those. Now if you do a trial of chaos and you come across it as Kappa, you want to come over here and sell that puppy, because that thing is worth 262 exalted orbs for just 1. So I would definitely recommend selling them unless you wanted to use it.
Hello.
I mean, is it really necessary? No, it's literally to fine tune your build at the end. So I wouldn't equip it until you got the right armors on it. or on, sorry, because obviously how expensive they are, but it just gives you 10% increased rarity of items found, which is literally real end game. After you've min-maxed your build, you've got the most evasion, the most everything, physical, DPS, everything on your weapons. To sell them, keep running Trials of Chaos. You can buy them in the trade store. So like here, we're back on the trade store. You could literally do what I said in my last video. You go show filters. You can go any. Now, not only would you do it like that with the weapons, you could also type or search for a specific item or weapon. In this case, we can put ulti inscribed ultimatum, which is for them tokens, and we can literally just search. And with doing so, we can now see we can buy them for the chance to complete them, for the chance to get the rarity soul cores, which we can then sell for 260. So if you're looking for exalted orbs, that is a fantastic way of doing so. And also here on the filters, if you want to make it as easy as possible, you could literally put level 60 as max level, and you can even remove your min level. So let's just find out. Let's put min 55. That still only gives us trials 4. So we would like to hit the first trials that give us 5 trials. So in this case, you could hit, I don't know, 67 or 67. 65 we're seeing there is the first one I can see, and I'm seeing a 64. So if we just do 60 to get rid of the first lot, there we go. Spacing all of these, we've also got a 62, so the lower the better. So these 62s are ones that we are definitely seeing. So let's even just reduce that down to 64, and there we go. We've got a load of 62s. All you'd want to do, if let's just say, right, I now want this inscribed ultimatum, I would hit direct whisper. Then I would go back to the game, and on the game we can see that I have asked Nonny Merc for this inscribed ultimatum. I can click on him, I can click invite to party, and then Nonny could join me, and I could then walk to the person and buy it. Or if that didn't work, it's just rinse and repeat. So I'd go back over now, I'll direct whisper this person, I will go back to the game, I will go, oh, invite to party, and remember, this item is not really sought after, so the people might be in the middle of doing a trial themselves. They might be doing anything, but this is just an easy way of you getting exalted orbs. You buy a load of these, just direct message a load of people. If you want, limited the cost of it, so you know that everyone you're direct messaging, it's only going to cost 1 exalted orb. So you'd literally go to your show filters, you'd max your result orbs to 1, and then you know if you went across and spam direct message to loads of these, that the only ones that will invite you to their party in the game, you'd know it'd only be 1, rather than going, oh, how much was that one? So here we go. Someone right above me has just invited me to the game, so I would literally go ahead and join that person. I'd walk to that person, and then after you've traveled to the person, this is how you purchase any item. I just wanted to show you with this. Obviously, it's a cheap item. I would go over to the stash, or I'd have them on me. I would go over to where I have got my exalted orbs, and I would literally just grab one. You can see they've already requested to trade, and then I will give them 1, and they're going to give me the ultimatum. Okay, and then if you wanted to trade with the person, you would literally have just gone over to that person's name. They've disappeared. Go over to that name, press start, go down and hit trade. So let's go back to the store. Now let's try and explain a little bit more. Hopefully that's helped a little bit, but I will go over it again. Now let's remove the inscribed ultimatum. Let's remove these level caps. Let's remove the exalted orbs. Now there's other ways of finding things. So let's just say I want a weapon. Oh no, body armor. Let's do body armor. And I'm trying to make money from doing it. So I'm going to get body armor. I'm going to hit search. Now that I've hit searched, how am I going to make money from these? Well, yet again, you can do the exact same things I did before. I've clicked on an armor one, so that's not good. But I mean, that's tell you what, I'm going to try and buy that. If that person lets me buy that, I'm on to an absolute win here, because that has got no runes on it. and I can go and stick 2 runes on that, increasing it by 40%. I don't know if that's good armor. I mean, I think it is. We got one there for 2,759. So no, that wasn't actually a good purchase, because if we were to put on 40%, and we know that's not actually that good, considering we can get that for 59 and we were going to buy that for 20. So this is where you have to do searches, because not everything shows up when you press it. So in the case of what I would do, obviously that's if you're looking for armor. If you're looking for a better armor, you'd go ahead. So okay, how did I get to that point? Right, let's remove these 2. Let's press search. Now if we click on armor, they've all got a similar pattern. We click on armor, we can see that this is the highest one that is showing on this page. We can see then this is the next thing that's shown on this page. What are we seeing the same on one to the other that is making it show so high? Simply, I'm looking at the top 2 stats here. So what's making the base so high is plus 311 to armor, plus 304 to armor, and over 100% increased armor percentage here. So what I would do is I'd go to show filters and I'd type in armor, and then I would add 2 armor, and then yet again I'd type in armor again, and I'd put in the increased armor. I would hit search, then I'd go and click that, and now we can see we're getting the max rolls. And yet again, same situation. You would just go down and look for one without runes, but we know what we're looking at, so all we have to think of in our minds, let's add on 40% to what that is, and then we're hopefully going to get a higher roll. So we could go down. Where are we? Is there any? This one without runes. Taglia, so that's 2463. That's got no runes. That's got no quantity increase. So if we were to go to 2054, let's pull up a calculator. And we'll go to 2052. And we will plus 60%. That's wrong. So we will go to 2052 and we'll plus 40% equals. Now, if we did that, we'd actually have the highest armor on here, which is selling for 59. And we've just seen that we can buy that one for how much? 35. No, wait, not that one. Where is it? It was somewhere down here. We could buy it for 20. So I'm going to direct whisper that person. I go back to the game. I'm going to literally invite that person to the party. What else did it have on it? It had strength, it had increased armor, it had cold resistant and reduced ignite duration on you, which is still pretty good stats. I don't know if this person's going to join, but obviously, nevertheless, we've got it on there, or we're in search waiting for this person. Do be careful, because when you do hold your mouse over them, the runes do disappear. And then you might think, hey, that one's not got no runes on it. No, it might be a case that you got your cursor on the armor, and that's why it's not showing. Like this one, yet again, is not bad for 30 exalts. That one's 50 exalts, because this one person knows their price, but it has got fire and lightning resistance on it, and it's still got one more possible exalted roll on that. This one's already got the rune sockets on, so you're saving money with that one alone. It's pretty cool. I mean, there is a market for the armor to be done, but yet again, this is the same with like evasion or energy shield. So let's just go back up to the top, and once we are back at the top, we're going to do the same. We're going to do show filters, we're going to remove them, we're going to press search. We're then going to go ahead and click on energy shield. Now energy shield, what's making it good? Increase energy shield and maximum energy shield. So we're going to go increased, but let's just put in energy. So maximum energy shield and increase energy shield. Then we're going to search. Then we're going to hit the energy shield up here. We're seeing that the highest one for 130 is 893. Yet again, the runes that you put on the iron runes do give increased armor, evasion, and energy shield. So if you're looking for something without that, and you put them on there, it's going to help it regardless. So that is always the route I would strongly recommend going down, is try and look for the highest roll without runes on, and then adding the runes, because typically you'll get it for a fraction of the price, and you will get a lot more armor, if not the same armor. But for something that cost you 20, you'll now be able to sell for like 100. So you're going to make your money back regardless, even if it's not the right roll. and it's again you know, you've got just a lot more room to play with, and that's where I've made all my money and got all my items in the game. Okay, so energy shield, I can't show the example there, but that you'd fine tune it. So okay, we haven't found one with runes. This is actually a good example. We're seeing here that you can get up to 187 increased energy shield. How do I find out that? Well, I clicked on it. It's yet like any other filter on any other web browser. You can click it twice or once to go down, once to go up, and it filters it from high to low. We can see that we're getting a lot of 180%. There's this one here for 190% at 589. So let's just quickly go ahead, and where the percentage one is, we can put 170, and this will limit the filter a little bit. And we can see that we're still getting the 814 one showing, but we could go down and find one without runes. This one here, 581697 plus the 40%. If we pull the old trusty calculator up again, and we go 581 plus 40% equals 813. So the top one here, it's one under. You can buy that one for 50. It will be one less than that, and you're getting it for half the price just by putting on them artificer orbs and runes, which only cost you 2 exalts. In theory, it's 0.5 because you're getting 4 for 1 in the ratio. And if you didn't want to spend that much, well, then you could just go down and find something a little bit cheaper. 30 exalts here, but it's not really going to change much. However, this person has qualityed it up. So when they've qualityed it up, the numbers that you're seeing here aren't 100% true, and you couldn't really do much with this because it's been corrupted. So the only thing you can really do with this is just put on 2 runes because there is rune sockets. Right, so let's remove that from the screen. We're not looking at this anymore. Now we want to look at other stuff in here. So we figured out that here we can find out what's on it, and here we can find out what exactly we want. But even though we click on weapons and you're looking for a unique, the easiest way to find a unique is by going up to the bar at the top and typing in the exact name, Hands of Winston. And we can click on that and we click search. Is there any exalted ones? Yes, and this is the cheapest. If you want to make sure that it's high to low, you click on it. That's now high. That is now low. So this is the cheapest exalts hands. And if you wanted it cheaper, because if we say it's 80, and then we go over to divine orbs, to 1 divine orb per, that is 4 divine orbs. Do be careful, because obviously it has got the corrupted on it. This is still not bad. I paid 9 divines for my Hands of Wisdom when I first got them. But you've got this one here for 4 divines, but they're corrupted. Yet again, you could look for something that's not corrupted. If you want to know what bonuses the corruptors are giving you, then you can click on this and you can see the best item that you can actually get on here is either with increased lightning damage or yet again 4% increased attack speed. This person has put a rune on it. I'd rather be able to give myself the opportunity to put what rune I would like on it, so I wouldn't do that. Anyway, let's go back to show filters. That is how you find a specific item. Let's just say ingenuity, utility belt, divine orbs. Yet again, it already initially starts at the lowest first, so 10, but yet again we know this goes up to 80%. How do we know it goes up to 80%, by the way? Well, even better for you is you would go and pull up this website right here. Where are we? This one right here, poe2db.tw, and then you can go to unique items, let's say, and I can go to unique armor or other items, and in the other items I believe this is where the belt is found, so we can look for the belt or we can search for it. Here is the headhunter's belt, ingenuity belt. This one here says it goes from 40 to 80%. Because they corrupted it, it went down to 37%. So that's why it's so flipping low. But coming back to here, we can see this. But yet again, if I want a higher roll, I can go click that and see what the highest roll is. Or I could do the simple method of typing in what my minimum stat is that I want. Okay, so I've now showed you items individually, how to search for an individual stat, to try and get the best version in terms of clicking DPS and that. However, there might be a specific thing that you're looking for as well. Now, there obviously is loads of other filters. The only filters I use is Divine, Exalted. Oh, that's Regal. Exalted. and the item category. So I'd use the specific item category. Now, if you are trying to get really good weapons and you think you are lucky, the best way to do this is click in item category. So let's just say weapons. And then you click magic. So if you're ever going to try and get lucky with an item, look for a magic item. Now I would also put it to 75 just so you don't get the higher rolls or the lower rolls. Sorry, you want to be looking for expert. Expert is the highest grade weapon in the game. And then obviously you got advanced, but we want expert. And then here, let's just say I now want to try and find it. Well, I could obviously click DPS. The problem you've got with just clicking DPS, it's only going to show you the highest DPS, but out of all the weapons, you could go individually to a weapon. So if I went to, let's just say war staff, I press search and I click DPS. You do have to worry about two things. One being the top thing and two being the second thing. The reason this DPS is so high is because the lightning damage is giving you this stat here, and this is giving you 24 increased attack speed. Now, attack speed's highest is 28%. And then the physical damage is also normally a major factor. So, physical damage, yet again, how do we find out, Deathwish? What is a good physical damage roll to get? I'm going to try and buy that. What is a good physical damage roll to get? Yet again, you'd go back to the other website that we saw, which is this one. You would go to the top. You would click items, and then here in items you can choose one-handed, two-handed, off-hand armor. So in this case we're looking for two-hand and we're looking for quarterstaffs. So then we're on quarterstaffs and we are now looking for physical damage. There's two rolls here, but one's physical and accuracy. Let's click on this one and we can see if it's got tyrannical in the name, it is the second best. If it's got merciless, it's the best. And it goes to 155 to 169 for tyrannical and 170 to 179 with merciless. We go back to the website. We can see this is tyrannical. So there isn't actually any better at the moment, but you could keep searching and waiting for that. And then with that, you could go ahead and buy the best version with a chance to roll it. So if I say, let's look for something that's a little bit cheaper and I'll just give it a go because my gambling luck in this game is the worst. I rolled 30, 40, 50 staffs to try and get better items, and I just simply couldn't. So you've got that option. The two things mainly from physical DPS on a war staff is, let me remove the min level, and let's go to DPS. Let's go to physical damage. So the main two stats for DPS is physical damage, obviously, as we just saw, up to 177%, and attack speed. Obviously, if you can get something with both on and they're both high rolls and you regal it, you're probably going to get a good weapon. So we can literally just go physical damage and we do the increased physical. The easiest way to find out is just by copying that. Press search there. Now we could look at that. We can see that's the highest there, but we could also go attack speed. Search that. Now if we search the physical, what are we getting? 152, but this is the wrong type of weapon. This one doesn't have any physical damage on it. Don't buy a weapon that's not got physical damage on it if you're trying to get a high DPS roll of physical damage. So that one hasn't got it, but this has got increased attack speed, so we click increased attack speed. But that's already got physical damage really low, so we want to avoid them at all costs. So the next best way to filter would be remove physical damage, hit search. We'll click attack speed to try and get the highest roll attack speed. Now this is advanced as well, so we do want to be careful. I know it's got the highest roll here, but this is advanced. We don't want advanced. We'd want to look for an expert, which here has got an expert. It's 14 exalted for a gamble. I don't think it's worth it. Yet again, so what can we do? We can literally go up to the top. We can click on this and type our max is 1. Click attack speed. And now everything that we see on here is only going to be 1. But all I'd want to do, for my sakes, because I'm end game, is look for something that's 1 exalted. And that is expert. This has got increased elemental, but it's advanced. That has got attack speed, cold, stylo. Do that, and then in the game, I'm just trying to invite them to the party. This one's already got rune sockets on it, which is not bad, but it's advanced. And that gives you an idea with that anyway. So moving on, what else might there be in here that we don't quite understand? So we've already covered off that topic. If we're looking for a unique, then it's same again. You just click war staff and you click unique. It don't have to be one exalted, but you can do one exalted. You can reduce it down to make it as easy as possible for you. And then you've got all your jewels and stuff like that. So what are good roles for jewels? Yet again, you can go straight over to the other website. I'll link them all in the description, as well as my Twitch and my Discord. You want to join, feel free to do so. I believe that's everything to do with trading in this game and how it works. You look on here, direct message, and do that. And then in the game, all you'd have to do is, if you wanted to sell, then you would go over to your stash, and in your stash you will pull out whatever it might be. So it could be, oh, 1 second, let's just say these 4 items. You go over to a tab that you've got available to trade with, and you would just sync them in there. And if you want to set a specific price, let's just say I want to make this 10, I would hit X for me on console, and then I would type in the price I want, and then I would go over to here and choose the currency that I want to upload it for. So if I wanted for exalted, then I put exalted. In this case, we can just leave it box standard, not even touch it, and just sell them for 1 exalted when anyone wants them. This is where I've been trying to roll all the different types of weapons, and I'm not getting lucky with anything. I did get that one, which I've got listed for 3 divine, which someone wanted before, but then they pulled out of the sale. I'm not too sure why they pulled out of the sale, but yeah, you can get lucky. You can get really lucky and get something that's going to make you 200 divine. But the easiest way to make exalted if you're new is just do trials of chaos and loads of them. When you are capable of running them endlessly, you can even run easy ones with only 4 tiers. Just run through them, keep running through as many as you can. Super duper easy. Fly through them, get your soul cores, get out and sell them buggers, and make yourself plenty of money. So yeah, I believe I've covered everything to do with store uploading and obviously finding. If there's anything you need to know about the store or anything else, let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to reply to you, and I'll try and make any other tool tips on that. So with any other video ideas as well, let me know. Like, follow, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.